we go. We're going to be making galaxies and planets. So to begin, we're going to look at our keyboard and we're going to hit F4. And when you hit F4, what's going to happen is you're going to get all of these programs that pop up. And if you scroll on the mouse, it'll let you go through all the different programs. And we are looking for PS, Photoshop. That's one we're going to start with. So click on Photoshop. You'll see over on the right-hand side, this is called our dock. And you're going to see Photoshop is going to load on the dock for us. It's currently verifying it. It's going to pop open. If we didn't have Photoshop open already, at this point it may ask you to log in to Adobe. So if it does ask you to log in, that's fine. What we're going to do here is we're going to make a custom size. See kind of this welcome screen here with a lot of different options. Here's some of the other galaxies I've made. Here's one of the projects I did for 6th grade. But we're going to go in the upper corner and we're looking for new file or create or something similar to that. So either you're going to see that in the upper corner, new file or create. You're going to hit that button. And then you have all these different options, and this part looks really confusing, but I will walk you through it. At the top here, you have a lot of different choices. You have photo, print, art and illustration, web. Okay, so we're going to click on art and illustration up here. And over on the side, we're going to customize it. So under the top one, this is what our name's going to be. So we want to change all of the stuff on the right. We're going to call it Galaxy, and then you're going to put your name here. And then under that, we have pixels. So 1,000, we're actually gonna make it more. We're gonna make it 4,000 pixels, which is pretty good quality. And we wanna do 3,000 pixels as our height. 300 resolution is too big. You need to make sure you change this to 72, okay? 4,000, 3,000, 72. RGB color stands for red, green, blue. Those are the colors to combine to give us our colors. And background contents, we want to change that to black, like that, okay? The rest of this is fine, square pixels, RGB. So Galaxy, 4,000, 3,000, 72, RGB, black background for our Galaxy. Click the Create button in the bottom corner, and there we go. I'm going to go up here to organize my workspace, and there's all these weird icons here. We want to change this area on the side. So we're going to go up to the top and we're going to go to Window. And it's not working. I don't see it. I don't see any of my controls here. This is weird. It says QuickTime, but over here it says Photoshop, and I can't find my menus. So if that ever happens and you can't find anything that I'm talking about in the video, what you're going to need to do is just click anywhere on Photoshop. So see how it's a different program here, or maybe Chrome, for example. Let's say you're doing split screen right now and you don't see any of your Photoshop. You just see Chrome at the top. Here's how to fix that. Click anywhere on Photoshop and watch what happens in this corner up here. See, switches back to Photoshop, just like that, really easy. And then we're gonna go to Window, and we're gonna go down to Workspace, and we're going to change. We want to just go to Essentials. There's all these different options. We just want to do the essential stuff. We don't need anything crazy. Essentials, click, great. So now we have all of the things we're going to need. Later, all we're going to really need to look at is the one that says Layers. This guy, that's the only one we're going to need later on, okay? So let's not worry about anything else yet, okay? Let's me down, and there we go, like that. And I'm going to shrink it down and pull it over to the side here. So I want to try to pull Photoshop right here. And then on the other side, what you can do is go to Google Chrome, open it up, and over here on the side, we're going to go to YouTube. I have a link right here, but you can just type in YouTube. And the link actually for the video you're going to be doing with me is going to be on Google Classroom. This famous movie right here. There I am. So we'll pause it on this great part of this movie here. And we're going to pull in YouTube like this, and we're going to split. So half is going to be here, half is here. So we can see the tutorial that I'm doing right here. It's actually the one I'm making right now. And then over here on the side, you're going to be working on your project. So you're going to split your screen half and half. Bigger here. If I hit Command 0, it's going to fill my space. Command plus zooms in, Command minus zooms out, like that. Okay, so we'll start with this right here. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to go right down here, and right now I have purple and white, but I want it to be black and white like we see here. So I want to either click the black and white button like that, or if you have two different colors, like here if I have red and white, I just click on this black and white button and it makes it black and white automatically. Okay, so it's starting with black, and what we want to do is add the stars in a second. So what we're going to do is we are going to go up to the top menu here, and we're going to click on Filter. We're going to pull down until we get to Noise. Move your mouse over until you get to Add Noise. And we're going to add noise. So make sure you have the amount turned all the way up to 400 for noise. It's kind of like noise on an old TV when a TV couldn't find a station. You don't want uniform, you want Gaussian. And then if you have the rainbow version, we don't want rainbow, we want monochromatic. Monochromatic means one color. Click OK. And it's going to fill it in with a bunch of noise. Next thing we have to do is blur that noise. So we're going to go to Filter, Blur, move across to Gaussian Blur. And once we get to Gaussian Blur, we want it on one pixel right there. Or you can come here and just type in 1. That works too. Click OK. It won't look like much happened, but if we zoom way in, we blurred it a little bit. Okay, just a little bit, not a ton. Next, we're going to turn this into stars. So next one is we go to Image, we go to Adjustments, we pull across, and we go to Levels, right here, Levels. Image, Adjustments, Levels. And we get this, and if you click in the white area, we can move this off to the side so we can see it a little bit better. We're going to click on our black arrow, and we're going to pull it in to the right. We're going to keep going and going and going. Somewhere around there is pretty good. It's going to start looking like stars. I can even take my white arrow and pull my white arrow to brighten it a little bit too. Then pull the black in, pull the white in to brighten it, and that's going to start looking like stars. So we hit OK, like that. Okay, still we got a lot of stars. It looks a little different than my preview. So if you want and you have this and you want to darken it more, we go to Image again, Adjustments again, and now we go to Brightness, Contrast. So this one, what we can do is we can push the black and make it darker, and we can bring the brightness down a little bit like this. Okay. Okay, next thing we're going to do is go over here to the right hand side. We're going to click on the button that says Layers. If you don't see it, and maybe you have something, maybe your screen looks like this right now, or something over here on the side, what you can do is hit this little arrow, and you want to look for either this button here that says Layers, or if you can't find your layers, go up top to the window, pull down until you see this word Layers. So go to Window, Layers, click on it. So this is important. Channels and paths, you don't need. We can even click this little arrow to get rid of them. But layers, I'm going to leave this over here in the corner like this. And if I use my mouse ball, I can kind of move my galaxy over. So layers, when we work in layers in Photoshop, it's like adding in a piece of glass over top of our image. So if I click this button right here, creates a new layer for us. Now we have an empty layer. There's nothing on it. So I want to go on my toolbar, and I'm going to click on my paintbrush. And right now I have black selected, but I want white selected. So if I hit this little arrow button, it'll switch it. See, these switches my colors when I hit the arrow. So I want white. And right now I have a size 200 brush. So if I make a star, it's a little bit too big. So if I make a mistake, I can go to Edit, Undo, or hit Control Z. But if we look at 200, if we click right up here on our brush size, it's 200. If we pull it down, maybe somewhere in the 30s, yeah, it's pretty good. See, if you move your mouse over top, it's going to show how big each one's going to be. We're going to make some stars. So we're going to make sure we're on a new layer, layer 1, not our background. And I'm going to click in a couple random spots in the background, okay? You don't want to have them too even. You want to kind of make it look like they're just kind of sprinkled in the sky. You know, some can be clustered together, some can be more spread apart. You decide where these are going to be. Now, if we go over here to our layers again, and we click this eyeball, you'll notice it turns on and off. So what the eyeball does is it shows us our visibility, so we can turn on and off those. Now we want to make them glow a little bit. We can put individual effects on each layer. So if I click on layer 1 and I pull down here to effects, the letter F and X, you can click here and go to outer glow, or this empty area next to the layer we can double click and it'll pop up our layer styles menu. Okay, 2 ways we can do it. FX right here, go to outer glow, or we could double click in that area. We're gonna move our box to the side so we can see it. So it always covers it up, so we move our box over. So we have outer glow checked, so that's good. Now our glow color right now is white, but I wanna get it like a light blue. So I'm gonna click right here, and I wanna go to a very, very light blue, like a robin's egg almost. Click OK. And we really can't see it yet, so if we hit size and we bump the size up, what we're looking for is size and spread. See that? That's way too bright. So I'm going to pull the size down a little bit. We're going to pull the spread down a little bit. And then opacity is how see-through it is. So if we pull the opacity down, it becomes really see-through. If we bring the opacity up, we have this weird blue glow. So we want a little bit, just a little bit like this. So mine ended up being 16, 0 for noise, 6 for spread, and 54 for size. Then I'm going to bring it over and click OK. Then if I zoom in, hit Command plus a couple times, you can see we have a little bit of glow. That looks pretty good. We're going to do that. Okay, so there's our glow. There's our stars. It's looking pretty good. Okay, what we need to do next is over here we're going to make another layer. Okay, we're going to make another layer above it. We have a blank one called layer 2 that has nothing on it at all. What we're going to do here is we're going to add our clouds, which is going to end up looking like our galaxy or our nebula. So on layer 2, you can actually double click on it and we can name it what we want. So if we double click on the words, we can call it clouds. If we want to rename layer 1, we can. Double click, we'll call it stars, like that. So we have clouds, we have stars, we know which is which layer. If you want, that's not required, just something you can do. So we need to make sure we're on the clouds layer and we're going to add clouds. So the way we need to do it is white and black. Right now we have white in the front, black in the back. We need to switch those, so black is in the front. So we're going to hit this little arrow button, switch, and there. Now we have black and white. So you'll see why in a minute. We go up to the filter, make sure you're on clouds layer, go to filter, pull down until we get to render. So filter, render, go over and down until you see clouds and click on it. It's going to automatically add clouds, automatically. Now, that doesn't look good yet. We'll get there. So what we'll do on our clouds layer over here is you want to move your mouse over here to where it says clouds, and then right above the word clouds, see where it says normal? Right now they're normal clouds. We want to change normal to something called color dodge, okay? It's going to look a little weird, okay? But you got to bear with me. Click on color dodge. Doesn't look like anything yet. So it will though. Okay, we're gonna alter it in a minute. So what we'll do now is click on stars, and we want to put a layer in between stars and clouds. Okay, so if we click here, it's going to add a new layer between it. Or if you're clicked on clouds and you add a new layer, like this, you can double click, and we're going to call this galaxy. And we need to pull the galaxy down. So if we click and hold and pull down, it's going to put galaxy between. So we need clouds, color dodge, galaxy, normal, stars, normal. So we're going to be on our galaxy layer. We're going to add the galaxy now. Okay, this is all the fun part with all the colors and everything is going to be this. So we're on our galaxy layer. And we're going to look at our brush. So we're going to actually do some painting, but we want our brush to be really, really large. So what I do is click on paintbrush, go all the way to the top, click on 33, and we want to bump it up. Let's see how big. No, we want it way bigger. 300, no, go a little bigger. No, 2000's too big. Let's do 500. Yeah, 500's good. So right now it's at 508, but I can literally just type in 500, enter, and that's how big my brush is going to be. Now if I just start right now, and let's double click here to change our color. Right now it's black. So if I just go up here and pick a purple, click the purple I want, so it shows up here, click OK, it's too dark. Okay, see how dark that is? It doesn't look real. Command Z to undo. Okay, what I want to do is I want to do something more subtle. So we want to bring our opacity down. Opacity means you can't see through it. So if we bring it down, we're going to be able to see through it. So I'm going to bring it down to 10, all the way down to 10. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of click once and start throwing in this color. And now, just by clicking, I'm not clicking and dragging, I'm just throwing in a little bit of color. So I'm going to actually make my mouse a little bigger. So let's go to 600 now, enter. You can change that size at any time. And I'm going to add a little bit of my purple. The more you go over it, watch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it gets brighter. And that's okay, we can do that occasionally. You don't want all of it too bright. So if you go over it again, you'll notice it brightens. That's okay. We can make it even bigger if we want. Let's say we go to 1,000. 1,000 will be good too. Hit enter. So I'll put in a couple thousand ones. Now we got purple, but we got to change the colors a little bit. Okay, now let's do a quick search. Okay, we're gonna do a quick search here, and we're gonna go galaxy, and let's take a look at a couple galaxies and see what colors we can find. Oh, let's go into the phone. That's really funny. Okay, so if we're looking at a couple examples, we're gonna see blues, purples, pinks. Here's some more purples and pinks here. Okay, these are the main colors we're looking for. Here's a brighter fuchsia. I don't like these colors as much, but you can kind of see the colors palette we're looking for are going to be mostly purples. Like, that's perfect. Purples and blues and pinks. So we have purple. So we're going to double click here, and now we're going to try some pink. And what size is our brush? 1,000. Okay, that's good. We can stay right on that galaxy layer. And now we're going to add some pinks. Doesn't matter where you put them. Just kind of spread them around. If you go over them a couple more times, it brightens a little bit. That's okay. Now we need some blue, so I'm going to double click here on my pink. We're going to get some sky blue like this. Right in there. I like that. Click on it, click OK. And now we're going to add some blue. All right, you can go right over your other color that was there too. That works. All right. If it's a little too dark, a little bit too messy, one thing you can do is you can click on Galaxy, and we can go to Image, Adjustments, Brightness, Contrast, and you can actually go through and you can pull it down a little bit. If it's too dark, you can make it pull down the brightness and make it a little less subtle. If you want, you can pull those sliders back and forth. Okay, I don't want it that dark. I want it a little bit brighter, somewhere around here. Okay, so now we have clouds on top, color dodge, galaxy, stars. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to save. Save as. We're going to call it, yep, save on my computer. And Galaxy Mr. A is my file name, and I'm going to put it in downloads. It's a Photoshop file. Great. Hit save. Okay, that is the end of part 1.